Hello everybody, this is Gareth Coon Speaks back here with another video. I'd like you to hit the subscribe bar, give me a thumbs up if you like the post, or else you can hit the notification bell to be notified when I post my next video. Or you can look me up at my website, which is www.garethcahoon.co.uk. Or if you'd like to support the ministry and my website and my YouTube and TikToks and other sites that I'm on, you can do so through PayPal, GarethCahoon3 at gmail.com. Mamdani'S New York Kibbutz experiment. The closest thing to the implementation of the socialist system in Israel is the kibbutz, originally established even before the foundation of the modern state in 1948. It was designed to fulfill the Zionist vision, requiring every member to fully contribute their efforts for the good of the people and the collective. Once Israel became an independent state, the kibbutz system was able to absorb many Holocaust survivors who arrived with virtually nothing but the clothes on their back. For them, it was a godsend because it provided for their every need: honour, housing, food, clothing, medical care, and the basic necessities. In exchange, each member received a small monthly stipend to help them buy extras or even put some money away. It worked great because most of these kibbutz communities were only comprised of a few hundred people at the most. It maintained an even basic economic level while everyone benefited in many ways. These communities are still in existence, although most have abandoned the original collective socialist aspect for a more merit-based way. Incoming New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani is about to embark on the very same experiment, but what worked for a small handful of people will in no way be successful for a city whose population exceeds 8.5 million people. This is because everyone is not starting out on a level playing field, as was true for the kibbutz members. Nonetheless, Mamdani, in part of his inaugural address, enthusiastically stated, "Today begins a new era. I was elected as a Democrat Socialist and I will govern as a Democrat Socialist. We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism." Although those three sentences are a tiny fraction of his lengthy speech, they represent the division of one enormous kibbutz. Already doomed from the start, the greatest asset of America, its rugged individualism, which forged the world's greatest superpower, is being marginalised and abandoned for collectivism, whatever that means to the Ugandan-born mayor. How will Mamdani pull off a collectivism which is dependent upon well-off New Yorkers parting with their wealth in order to create the economic level playing field, which is the centerpiece of the mayor's utopian paradise? Unlike the kibbutz system, which relied upon its particular industry as a main source of income to keep each member housed, fed, and clothed, New York is already a collective, but not in the definition of Mamdani. Within the 5 boroughs which make up the city of New York is a highly diverse cross-section of people comprising everything from billionaires to marginally wealthy, to the middle class and to the penniless and homeless. In what galaxy does such a varied assortment amalgamate to form a collectivism resulting in equal outcomes? And why would any person with drive, talent, motivation, dedication, and determination feel compelled to earn less for themselves and their family in order to enable others who are lazy, uninspired, or unwilling to invest the hard work which yields success? Mamdani's ill-advised experiment is wholly built upon lowering one segment of society in order to lift up the other. But even if such a thing could happen, complete equality based on one single starting point cannot work simply because people are not the same. There will always be someone smarter, richer, thinner, wittier, more charming, and more talented. It is why certain people rise to the top and others don't. In many cases, It has nothing to do with monetary advantage received from one's youth. It has everything to do with a person's creative juices, unique talent, insatiable drive, and how they take advantage of even the smallest opportunities which come their way. That's why there are many rags to riches stories, because some were determined to pull themselves up from their humble or impoverished beginnings in order to obtain all that life has to offer. These people, once at the top, may desire to help the down and outers of society, but they will not be ready to turn over all they have achieved to those who neither worked for it nor would even know how to preserve it or better it. Regrettably, these are the lessons Mandani has yet to learn in order for his plan to work so as to ensure that no New Yorker is priced out of any one of the basic necessities. Coercion would have to be employed, and no successful New Yorker will put up with that, even those who voted for this socialist dream, because, as former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher said, socialism works well until you run out of the other people's money. The beauty of the free market capitalist merit based system is that the very successful, wealthy, and talented are often the ones whose hard investment provides a good living for so many. As workers prove themselves, they too can move up the ladder to success, likewise paying it down to those less fortunate. Other sectors of society, such as service oriented organisations, non profits, and even faith based charities or entities such as churches or synagogues, are a great lifesaver for those unable to help themselves for a variety of reasons, albeit not the unwilling to work if they can. Those private resources must never be replaced by government, which has proven itself to be mostly inept and corrupt. So while all of Mamdani'S lofty goals and promises of free stuff may sound attractive and enticing to the constituents who are hoping to get a piece of the pie without having worked for it, they may be disappointed to discover that it's just pie in the sky, because socialism has not yet provided a blueprint for success anywhere it's been tried, perhaps with the exception of the Israel Kibbutz system. But as previously mentioned, most of these collective communities have had to adopt a radically different framework from the way they began in order to survive. Privatization, accompanied with differential pay, had to be implemented to avoid the economic crisis which many saw coming. Consequently, around 85% of all kibbutz communities decided to pay members based on the value of their work, their skills, and individual responsibilities taken on, shifting from work as a value to the value of work. Undoubtedly, Mamdani will figure this out along the way, but not before many become disillusioned by his failed kibbutz experiments in the Big Apple. This man is a fool if he thinks that he can level the playing field, because whether we like it or not, it's the millionaires and the taxes they pay that fund those people that are less off and are down and out in our society. Without the millionaires and the people that are paying more tax than the ordinary individuals are actually looking after the people on welfare, and it's socialists and communists and Marxists that still are playing this same old game of leveling the playing field. They want rid of the rich until the rich aren't there anymore and their societies fall. Just look at what's happened to Venezuela. Shalom. Maranatha. Hallelujah.